So, welcome. My name is Ed Leardom. I'm the chair. Most of you know me probably. And we're always going to start off with our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the greater Peterborough area is in the Mississauga Anishinaabe territory in the context of Rice Lake, Treaty 20, and Williams Treaties. We wish to recognize First Nations rights in these treaty areas. In keeping with KLSA's mission, we emphasize to the past and current efforts of the First Nations people as Nibi Abisidun, or water protectors in their language. There is much we can learn from First Nation knowledge of the land and what is needed for a more sustainable and regenerative future. Okay, there's the agenda. Just briefly, we'll go through all that stuff. We'll have a break. And what I always like to do now is just to get a feel for, and everybody, to know which associations, Lake Cottage, Road, other organizations are represented here today. So I'm going to say, kind of go through quickly. Maybe we can start at the back there with, is that in the back there? That's you, Carol? Yeah.
Thanks. I'm Carol Armstrong. I'm Deputy Mayor in Front Lakes. I've come from Picard Lake, close to here, and I'm also a board member on FOCA.
Sure. Well, I'm Dave Heeman. I have a cottage on a little ball lake.
Perfect.
So I'm Patty McDonald. I said to Dave, we always pay extra for these seats. This is why we get so we are. So I'm with the Park Cottages Association. They've helped with your water testing for many years. And I'm involved in other things with the Land Trust and various groups, Green Economy, Peterborough. So I always love to come here and see what everybody's doing. So thank you so much.
We are Marty and Christine, and we are on Pigeon Lake. Pigeon is my surname.
Pigeon.
Pigeon is my surname.
My name's Ken Wilson. I'm a member of the board of the Scugog Lake Stewards Association, so just came by to visit, so thank you very much.
Kay Crawford, we're on Domies Creek, and I do some volunteer work with the Land Trust.
Ken Crawford on North Pigeon Lake, and do some work with KLT, and was doing water testing and probably going to be able to go back to that next year.
Bob Woosnam, South Shore of Stony Lake near McCrockett's.
Yep, keep going across.
South Harbor,
Peter Redmond from a very dry river, Mississauga.
Jen DeLange, Pigeon Lake Cottagers Association.
Sheila Gordon, concessions and Pigeon Lake Cottages, and I'm a board member of KLSA.
Chris Appleton, Sturgeon Point Association, and I'm on the board of Fort Land Trust.
Warren Dunlop with the North Pigeon Lake Association, and I'm a volunteer with KLT as well.
Erica Vogel from Land Cottage here in Stoneville.
David Young, former tester and resident on Sturgeon Lake.
Beth Ward from Section 17 Cottages Association on the east side of Pigeon Lake.
Joyce Gordon, ditto Beth.
Don Gordon, Sheila's brother.
Mark Water, Newcomb Lake Country Association, and Lower Buckhorn Association, part of the KLSA when we first started off 20 some odd years ago, and water tester, E. coli, phosphorus, and trying to keep my feet in the door as much as I can. My wife and I.
Wonderful.
Doug Wellman, president of the North Quarter Lakes Association, NORCLA. Our membership are the 10 lake associations in North Quarter Township, starting with Upper and going north to Eels. And we have a cottage on Anstruther Lake, And Marco's been doing some joint work with the Environment Council, Stony Lake projects.
Good morning, my name is Brett Trudano, I'm a director with KLSA.
Barbara Saunders, I'm a cottager on Anstruther Lake in North Kawartha.
Peter Franson, I'm counselor for Trent Lake. I'm also on the board from the Kawartha Conservation Authority for more than 12 years. That's the council background.
Good morning, I'm Kathy Price. I'm a cottager on Bass Lake and I've been doing water testing on Bass Lake and Pigeon Lake Association.
Stephen, in Wild Palm, we're the owners of Lake Edge Cottages, and we test on Catchanooka Lake.
Mike Dolby, cottager and tester on Catchanooka.
Rich Corbin, Big Bald Lake Cottagers Association, I'm the coli tester on Big Bald.
Robert Bratton, cottager on Anstruther Lake, and do volunteer work with the Bridge Park which we are in. And I'd like to say our water levels are like a month and a half low for the time of the year because we keep the Trent Canal afloat. Thank you.
Carolyn Snyder, Community Engagement Technician with Court Conservation. You'll hear from me in a little bit.
Jim O'Shea, Chandos Lake, the most northern lake in this region, and I'm a counselor on the municipal staff.
Thank you and welcome. It's always nice to see where everybody's from. And I'm from Northeast Creek as well. Yes, yeah, didn't know that. We know your dog. Everybody knows my dog. The beast, yeah. We've got a few things to talk about with regards to our board. Jackie Mill, who joined our board in October 2021, has stepped off the board. She's busy with family and that retirement seems to not be happening for her. So she's too busy and we appreciate her time. We have a gift basket for her, as we always do for departing board members. Thank you, Jackie, who's not here. Microphone. Do I need a microphone? Yeah. And Roland, oh, by the way, Jackie will continue to support us as a volunteer in one of our committees, like the editorial committee that produces the annual report. Roland Van Oostveen, who joined the board a few years ago. He is continuing, though, to help us in many ways. He was responsible for transforming our website and moving it from one platform, I guess I'll call it, to another that doesn't have those nasty ads and stuff. And Roland was instrumental in doing that, along with Carol Cole, who's also a past board member. So, and Roland is here today, videographing and photographing here for us when time permits. So we appreciate your efforts, Roland. And there's a gift basket for you here. You can pick that up maybe later. What happened? Who's wrong button? This fancy technology. By the way, we got a new projector. Isn't it better than it has been in the past years? So here's our current slate of directors on our board. Me and Lurdum, Bob Bailey, our vice chair. Sheila, who spoke up earlier, is our secretary. Brett Trudeau also spoke up. He runs our dissolved oxygen and water temperature program. And yeah, they're not. Kim, who was standing, oh, there you are. Okay, Kim Ong, who runs our National Edge program. And Jessica Livingstone at the back there, who joined us this year, a new board member. And we have great plans for Jess to help us. So that's our board. Past board members. We have a couple of past board members. Mike Dolby is a past board member. I think Chris, you're a past board member. And I'm sorry, Mark, past board member as well. So always nice to see the support we get from all our past board members and current ones as well, who have recently left us, let's say. But seeing that there's only 6 of us, And our bylaws say we should have up to 12 board members. We are in desperate need of volunteers to come and help us with all the things that we do. And it doesn't have to be necessarily anything about aquatic biology or anything. You don't need to be a scientist. I'm not a scientist. We need people to help with accounting and legal and just running a program. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to be a scientist, but all organizations need those people as well as the smart people like our scientists on the board. So if you're interested at all, please, there's a sign-up sheet at the back, or come and talk to Bob or myself during the break or anytime. Send us an email and let us know that you'd be interested. Then we'll get back in touch with you. We only meet about 4 or 5 times a year through Zoom, plus our 2 public meetings, and the rest of the time is behind-the-scenes work. So a bit of a commitment, but not like a job, 40 hours a week. So appreciate your consideration. If you know anybody that might be interested and might have time, pass it along as well. And we're going to now into sort of a synopsis of what we've been up to this season, 2025. Our programs, results from there, and I think it's now over to Bob.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Ed. Yeah, the E. coli program, I think, put your hand up. I noticed several E. coli volunteer samplers in the audience. Thank you again, folks. We had something approaching 300 samples this year. This is like a teaser for my talk later. I don't want to say much about the results this year because I've been up for days and nights incorporating this year's results into the talk. So you'll see how this year kind of folds into the results we've had over 25 years. And take a guess how many E. coli samples we've had analyzed between 2001 and this past summer. Somebody just shout it out.
8,000.
8,000? Higher.
6,580.
That's actually lower, but over 11,000 samples. So you're going to hear about those in a few minutes. So yeah, the clue about the story, or at least a couple of clues. On the left is our very first annual report, and on the right is just a graphic from, everybody remembers the drought, the heat waves we had this past summer. So that's a teaser. Also wanted to just say a word about the Lake Partner Program. How many folks here participate in the FOCA MOE Lake Partner Program? Several. And so we help people when they need help or when they want help in participating in this program. And FOCA MOE has quite a good website where as soon as results become available, they have much more of a lag than we do with the E. coli program and results, but it's really easy to see the results for your lake and to download them if you want to take a closer look at them. And I'll ask Brett to come up to say a few words about the Lake Oxygen and Temperature Monitoring Program. Brett? Thank you.
So hello everybody. Once again, I'm Brett Trigano. Thank you to the 40 plus volunteers who have helped us with this program. Whether you've got temperature monitoring devices on your dock or are out boating in the middle of the lake with the profiles, so thank you. This piece we couldn't do without Kawartha Conservation's help or Parks Canada's help. Trans-Summer Waterways actually donated about $2,000 worth of these temperature data loggers, you can see down there covered in zebra mussels, for us to play with. And so it's been a warm, preliminary results are in, and we're breaking records, of course, for water temperature this year. Before we started collecting data, we've collected data for about 5 years now. We had no idea, we couldn't even even say whether or not we broke a record because we had no idea what the water temperature was like. It's not like air temperature where you see the news and it's, oh, you broke a record for this date back in 1972. Like, we had nothing like that, without the support from you guys and your volunteers. So if you have a chance, go to page 14 of our 2025 report, and we have this, what we call an almanac of kind of what we would expect. And for example, right now, I was just on the lake this morning actually, and in around 20 degrees Celsius, which is about 3 degrees warmer on average for this time of year, based on the last 5 years of data. And of course, we monitor our near shore, so close to your dock, and your offshore, kind of on the buoys, the well-mixed water. And yeah, we've broken records as well from that, which is not a great thing, Bob, probably. We only have 5 years of data. So our max temperature so far in our near shores was 30 degrees. So that's about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So that was a degree warmer than it was last year. And our offshore there, it doesn't, the well-mixed waters don't warm as much. They're kind of well-mixed. They tend to be a little bit cooler. But they increased by half a degree this year as well. And so it doesn't seem like a substantial amount, but when we're averaging all these values every hour we take a measurement, it's actually pretty substantial when you get that value. But we're going to continue monitoring and continue building this database. Just want to say thank you, to all your support. And yeah, we look forward to continuing to provide some strategies on how you can cool the water, next to your dock, next to your shoreline. So stay tuned for that. Well, thanks.
Thanks, Brett. Who is part of that program with Brett on the water temperature monitoring? Yeah, we've got a few in here. Good. Thanks. Lots of help from all of you. Good folks. Okay, time to call on Kim, our program manager for the Natural Edge program.
Thank you, Ed. Good morning, everyone. So I'm here to talk a little bit about the Natural Edge program, which has been an ongoing program that the KLSA has been working with Watersheds Canada to provide to the area. And basically what we do is we really help landowners in the area naturalize their shorelines or renaturalize their shorelines. And really our goal is to improve the lake and property health. There's a lot of different benefits from actually growing a nice shoreline with lots of plants on it. Defends against erosion, helps provide wildlife habitat, protects our waters, keeps the geese away. If you have problems with geese coming up onto your lawn, a nice buffer will actually help keep them away. And of course, beautify our lands. And to date, we've actually restored over 5,000 meters squared of shorelines and over 2,700 plants with more to come. And really, the program is quite straightforward, so just at the bottom here, what we do is we come check out your shoreline, and there's a plant expert. So I myself am actually not a plant expert. I help manage the program, but I'm actually a food safety scientist. But a plant expert comes to your site, and they use the Watersheds app. They'll take some pictures, they'll take some measurements of the soil, they'll talk to you to see what kind of plants you want, whether you want to see shrubs, wildflowers, how tall they are, and they'll design a personalized plan for you. And then that gets given to us, and we will go and actually buy the plants. So we have a couple of our suppliers here. So Pine Needles has donated all these plants for our raffle. So they're one of the suppliers, and then Rockwood Outside. They're all native plants, so they're gonna do really well on your shorelines. And then we actually bring those materials to you. So plants, mulch, soil, tools, and we also bring volunteers if you want us to come help plant that shoreline according to the plan. So it's a really great program. Typically a shoreline gets about 50 to 100 plants, and it only costs $250 to the landowners because we cover a lot of those costs and provide volunteers. So it's an amazing program. We hope it continues on. There is sign-up sheets at the entrance. We're always looking for planting volunteers, so folks to come help us out, and then also people who might be interested in the program, please spread the word. We love seeing those shorelines popping up across the Kawartha Lakes area. This year, we have 4 sites that are actually coming up on October 18th and 19th. So again, if you're interested or free that weekend, please do come out. You don't have to have any sort of planting experience. It's a nice group that comes out and kind of a community feel. We will show you how to do the plantings. So 2 on White Lake on October 18th and 1 on Pigeon and Buckhorn on the 19th. And we're still looking for landowners who are interested in the spring programs. We run it twice a year. We plant in spring and we plant in fall. So for the spring sites, we would start getting them going around January, February. And we are always looking for funding to continue the program. So if you know of any opportunities or funding that we could apply for, that's always of interest to us as well. So yeah, I really hope that you are interested in being involved. And if you have any more questions, I'll be hanging around here or in the back in the breaks. Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Just a reminder, if you haven't got enough of our aquatic plant guides, we have lots. We did 2 prints, second print last year, so there's a bunch at the back. And also we have a few copies of our annual report from this year, which is last year's stuff. And then we have some back issues as well if you want. So help yourself, they're on the table at the back amongst all the other material that you see there. So last month, we started our 25th year in operations. In case you don't know, and some of you might be too young to remember this, but the town of Walkerton had an outbreak of E. coli in their drinking water, and there was a lot of problems, a lot of injuries, illnesses. I think there was a dozen or so fatalities from that. So a group of people here in the Kawarthas decided that we should see what's in our waters. So that was August of 2000, and our first report came out, as Bob mentioned, in 2001. So we are celebrating our 25th anniversary this year. Look for something, I don't know what yet, I haven't talked about it with the board yet, I'm all ready to celebrate that. But especially our next annual report coming out next May will focus on that celebration.